hostess, Comfort, and here with us today, we have a very, very special guest. She is my soul sister, best friend, amazing poet, mixture poet. You guys make sure you check her out on Instagram and YouTube channel as well, I believe. And Twitter. And she's also an amazing designer. If you guys haven't checked out our logo, make sure you check it out. She actually designed it for us. And she, well, I think she'll tell us the name herself. What's your name?
My name is Michelle.
Yes.
And yeah.
Just her name. So her name is Michelle, and she's an amazing poet. And she's here with us today because she is going to share with us her testimony. So Michelle. So what I'm just going to ask you a couple of questions, and I just want you to answer in the most transparent way as possible. And yeah, we'll begin. So Michelle, what was life like for you before Christ, before you got saved, before, you got introduced to Christ? What was that like? What was that all about?
So life was confusing. It was confusing because I didn't really have like a lot of self-esteem.
Okay.
I was very insecure, very self-conscious about a lot of things about me, because in primary school I got bullied for my weight, because I was black, because I was quiet. I was just a quiet kid. I didn't really I didn't really say much. I've always been a quiet person. So, I guess that kind of attracted attention that I didn't really want. I was chilling. I was like, yo, I'm here to eat my snack. I'm here to read my book, to do my assignment, and to go home. But people just bothered me. So that was that. And I guess, I'd go home and I'd think, okay, you go home, you think home is this cool place where everyone's chilled and you can talk to your parents and be open. But it wasn't really like that. I never really felt confident enough or comfortable to talk to my parents about anything. And my dad just used to make comments and say things, and didn't really feel loved growing up at all. So yeah, I was just very self-conscious, about how intelligent I was, about what I looked like. I didn't think that I would ever be in a relationship or get married. I always used to I tried to fit in with there was a group of friends that I hung out with, and I tried so much to be like them, but I always felt really uncomfortable. So yeah, it was just really confusing. I got addicted to porn. I was confused about my sexuality and stuff. It was just such a confusing time, so confusing, all because of just not being accepted and being rejected. It just exploded.
What would you say was your biggest challenge growing up?
My biggest challenge was accepting who I am, and loving myself for who I was, I guess. I always wanted to be someone else. I always wanted to look like someone else, sing like someone else. I always wanted to be someone else because I felt like I had to be another person for me to be accepted and people to actually be like, okay, Michelle, I love you for you. I felt like I had to be someone else for people to accept me because I was being myself. I wasn't being anybody else, but it just seemed like no one wanted to accept me. So I was like, yeah, that was my biggest challenge, accepting me. Yeah.
Okay, so how was you talked to about Christ, or how exactly did you have an encounter with Christ, basically?
So what happened was, before I came to university, I think I was about 16, and that's when I started feeling really ashamed and guilty at the fact that I was watching porn. It became a really big conviction for me. I didn't know it was a conviction at that point, but it was a really big conviction for me. I'd listen to like preachers talking about, you know, turning your life around and like being changed. And even though they didn't preach salvation, like God still used those people to touch me and say, what you're doing is wrong, you need to turn away from it. You need to change your life. And then that happened like before I went to uni, so it happened for about a year. Like I was really battling with that. But at the same time, God was really speaking to me. Like I was encountering God in ways that I'd never encountered it before. I didn't even know about salvation. I didn't know Jesus like that. But I knew that God wanted me and God loved me and He wanted me to change. So I'd experienced God like bit by bit. And then when I came to uni, like on the day I came to uni, one of my friends told me about a church concert at Paul's house in Preston. So I went.
Shout out to Paul's house, doing amazing things.
PHP.
Yes.
So like I never heard of it. So I was like, oh, why not? Because you know I grew up in church. I know about church events. No. So I was like, let me just go. Like why not? I'm not really like I don't party. I don't do all that stuff. Like that's it was never me anyway. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went. And then at the end, there was a guy who was talking. That's Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. He was talking about like the love of Christ and like God going to places where you don't really let anyone in. And he was saying that like sometimes we go through life thinking that we know God, thinking that you know we love God, but we don't do His will. We don't want to listen. We are disobedient, and that there's certain parts of us that we're trying to fill with other things, but that can only be filled by God, by accepting that Jesus died for me. So like I remember he was just like, yeah, if you want to be a Christian and you want to give your life to Jesus, come to the front. And I remember like this was like a 3-second debate in my head. It went really quickly. I was just like, I'm already a Christian. I don't need to go up there. I already have Jesus. Like I already have God. Like I know God. I can go to church. And then another part of me was like, yeah, but you still need Him because there's still these things that you haven't dealt with. There's still these things that you know that you're trying to like fill with other things, like with acceptance from your friends and being liked and pleasing your parents, all this stuff. But you still feel empty. Like you need that filled up. And I was just like, I should probably go. Yeah. So like it took me a while. I was like, and then I finally put my hand up, and then I went to the front, prayed, and it wasn't even like I got prayed for. I said the sinner's prayer. I gave my life to Jesus, and everything was perfect, and I was fine, and I was like, I can live life now. Like it took me like months for me to actually like dedicate my life to Jesus, because there was like as soon as I got nightmares, spiritual attacks, everything. Like it was so weird because I'd just gotten saved. I was introduced to this new world, but like it was like there was just no break. Like it was like one thing after the other, and going through those things helped me to realize like, wow, Jesus is actually real, because all of those things I had to overcome by surrendering, by giving Jesus my all and being like, yo God, I don't know how to deal with these nightmares. I don't know what to do. Help me. And He helped me. I don't know what to do with this whole porn thing. I don't know what to do. Help me. And He helped me. So like, even though I got like straight after I gave my life to Jesus, life was hard. Like it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie. Like this is the best decision I've made, but it's also been the hardest because I've had to go through so many things just to get to the end and be like, yo, God is actually real. Like God's here for me. So yeah, it took me a while to actually get into the whole serving God, using my gifts, all of that stuff. It took me months for me to actually get settled in. And then, but once I was settled in, I didn't want to go back. I didn't want to watch porn again. I was like, yo, I'm actually like, I'm focused. Like, I want to do this and I want to go for it. But yeah.
And it's very funny the fact that you get attacked the moment you decided, okay, I'm going to go 100 for God.
Yeah.
And obviously with anyone who, let's say they're at that place right now where they are struggling to surrender everything, or for them to feel like it may not be worth it, you know, because it is a lot to go through and it's a lot to handle, and depending on the things that you've dealt with in the past, you know, the devil just really come for you when you make that decision. So what exactly would you say that one thing that really, you know, caused you to be like, no, I'm just forget all of this nightmares and all this is happening. I'm just gonna go 100 for God.
That one thing was like, because I knew growing up, like, I wanted acceptance and I wanted to be loved and I wanted someone to love me for me. I had a really like skewed like view on relationships and the point of relationships, and I ended up liking this guy during my first year of uni, and like I made him an idol, and I like it was so bad because I didn't realize what I was doing. Like I made the prospect of having a relationship was like my goal, and I was like, I need a relationship, like this is gonna help me, I'm gonna be healed, all this stuff. And like realizing that that was an idol really made me step back and be like, wow, my heart is actually full of wickedness. Like, and it wasn't something I intentionally did, like, oh, I want to put God last, but it was just gradual, you know. And like there was one time I was in my room and I messaged some girls and I was like, guys, I don't know what to do, I feel so far away from God, I don't know how to get back there. And they were just like, draw near to God and he'll draw near to you. So at that moment, like I wrote a letter to God and I repented, I apologized, I was like, God, I'm so sorry that I've made an idol out of this, like I want to live for you, I want to be full on like for you, I don't want this to be a distraction anymore, blah 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 blah. And like that, from that moment, it was like, I don't know, I was free, like I was able to just start again with God and be like, you know what, God, like I'm ready to go all out. And then like shortly after that, I started doing poetry in church, started singing, serving, the worship team, all this stuff. Like it really gave me freedom to just be like, I can give my all to God and know that He's got me. And like even though I was a bit scared, like okay, I'm not gonna have how am I gonna get in a relationship now? And then after let this go, choo-choos. He blessed me. He blessed me. Like I got an amazing guy. So like, you know, like God came through for me in it now. You know what I mean? Like in it. So yeah, like God blessed me. So it was sacrifice at that point, but He knew that I've got something better coming for you. So I gave my all and God blessed me. So,
that's amazing. That's really amazing.
He's the best. Jesus is the best.
Yeah, Jesus is like the best. And then
my babies is good too, you know, but Jesus is number one.
Hey, always. Okay, so after you gave your life to Christ and you started serving again, and you know you've given your 100 to God, so what would you say the difference between the Michelle then and the Michelle now?
The difference, Lord, so much. For one, I talk to people more. Like even though now, like I'm still learning to open up to people about things and to be transparent about a lot of things. But like from then to like I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't speak to anyone about my problems. I never opened up. Like I had a best friend, but I still didn't tell her everything. Like it was like I hid a lot of stuff. I wasn't comfortable talking in front of people. I wasn't comfortable talking to people I didn't know either. Like I always just used to be in a shell, but now I have this confidence. I didn't really like myself. I hated myself. I couldn't look myself in the mirror. I thought I was ugly, that I was like undesirable, all this stuff. But now I can look in the mirror and say, hey, you're buff in it. Like you're actually cute. Like I can look at myself and be like, hey, don't worry about them. You're fine. It's okay. God made you beautiful. It's fine. So like I'm confident in my body. Like I don't have to lose weight or gain weight to be like, oh, I'm this curvy person, or oh, I'm this slim person. Like lose weight, gain weight, I'm still buff. Yeah. I'm still cute.
Hey,
like it's alright. It doesn't matter. Like God, like I get that love from God. Like God fills me up with that love. So it's easy for me to be like, yo, if God can love this, then I can love this. Like why not? So I love myself way more. And I guess I'm learning that like then I used to want to help people and love people because I wanted it back. But now I help people and love people from a healthy place. Yeah. I don't do it just because I want to please people and stuff. Yeah. I'm doing it because I genuinely love people and I genuinely want to help.
That's amazing.
But yeah.
So what does, in your own words, what does salvation mean to you?
salvation is literally like it's breathing. Salvation is air. Like salvation is life. Like it's life. Like salvation is Jesus. Jesus is life.
Yeah.
Like to live is Christ. Like because in salvation you find freedom, you find liberty. In salvation you find purpose, you find calling, you find destiny. Like within salvation, that's where you find yourself and the reason you were meant to be here and what you're created for, how you were created. You get to understand yourself a lot better because you get to know your creator. Like,
and it puts the mirror up to your face as well. And like, okay, this is who you
this
really
is
are.
who you really are.
Yeah, like it or not, you deal with it, or
you deal with it. Exactly. Like salvation is air, because like growing up without salvation, not knowing salvation, not knowing Jesus at all, like there was a lot of deception, a lot of lies, a lot of confusion, a lot of like the pieces just weren't fitting together. But once you get saved, it's like you can breathe. Like you're like, oh snap, this is the reality. Like this is what's happening. Like this is how you're happy. This is how you get peace. This is like it's just air. Like it's like living underwater for so long, and then finally coming up and breathing, and then being like, oh my days, I have life. Oh my days, I can smile. Like that's for me, salvation is air.
Wow.
Like oxygen.
That's amazing. Breathe. So Mitchie has a little something special for us. She actually has a poem that she's going to perform for us today. So, what's the title of your poem?
Is that even the title? This one is called This Is the Day.
This is the day.
I just made that name up on the spot.
Well, this is truly the day.
This is the day.
Well, we really hope you guys enjoy it. Like, share, and do subscribe. And once again, this is Discussion with Comfort, and this is Mitch the Poet. Right, hope you guys really enjoyed the poem.
So, this poem is called This Is the Day, and it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's a perspective of what we are like as humans when we don't trust in God, when we choose to like kind of trust ourselves and not really include God in our plans and what we want and our desires and stuff like that. Like it really just like exposes like the human heart and what we're really like, rather than what we think we're like when we don't trust God. It's just a different perspective. So I hope you like it. I didn't memorize it. I'm gonna read it. So yeah. Okay. This is the day that you have made, and I'll rejoice, but only as long as you keep me covered. As long as I feel good about life, trials and strife don't bother me, but I soar in skies, a stormless ride in which nothing changes. I'll rejoice as long as I have coins in my purse, good food in my stomach, and friends that tell me how loved I am. I'll rejoice as long as my heart remains the same. No scratches or scrapes, marks or cracks in it put together, never fallen. I'll sing your praises when my grades are up. When my pay goes up, so will my hands. I'll rejoice as long as I don't remember what Job went through. As long as I don't suffer or cry. As long as my resolve doesn't get broken and my pride washes away in an ocean of tears. As long as my emotions stay riled up in the earthly things that satisfy for a while. As long as I feel good, feel happy, feel peaceful. As long as I sit comfortably on my faith and it never grows. Like a mustard seed I've made redundant because of relying on my own strength. As long as I don't have to step out of the boat because you're keeping it afloat, right? I'm safe there. I'm safe here in the comfortability of my flesh, dependent on my faulty mind rather than your perfect one. I'll rejoice as long as there are no tears in the night, as long as I don't have to fight, as long as I can keep smiling with no pain in sight and I'm exempt from having my faith perfected by you, I'll just stay blind to what I need and stay pleased by the earth that will one day fade. I'll just refuse to be pruned and stay stagnant in my walk with you for the sake of being happy. Happiness is becoming a state defined by what I can see and not your strength in me. Keep your grace. Keep your perfect love. Keep your glory to yourself, Lord, because I don't need it. Keep your help. Jesus, I'll just keep looking to the mountains that you made, hoping in my own goodness to get me through. If walking with you means that I have to be humble, let you cleanse me every day, relying on your still voice and trusting in your ability and not mine, then I choose me. Let my pride give me this ability, and even though I'll keep stumbling because I may buckle under the pressure, that's better than admitting I'm weak and I need someone bigger than me.